Gang, and this gon' be a robbery. So tuck your chain. I'm a killer, girl, I'm sorry. But I can't change. We ain't aiming for your body. Shots hit your brain. We come from poverty, man, we ain't have a thing. There's a lot of animosity, but they won't say my name. Them killers ride with me, little nigga, don't get banged. Cause they'll do that job for me while I hop on the
Shout out Groove.
She don't like her body, left the doctor with a new shape.
New
Blowing up my
episode of the
phone, baby, see me
podcast.
with my new babe. Heartbreaker, ladies love me like I'm Cool J. She was trying to cling on to a nigga, but it's too late. Booked the flight to Cali, rocks and condoms in my suitcase. And every single dollar in these bands got a blue face. Diamonds in the rollie, they in HD like it's blue.
It's Friday,
The way that I've been ballin' should make me
8:29.
over a 2K. Show out for the summer, I might pull up in a new race. This is on the gang, that's gon' only get your crew chase. And we haul shit down, better tighten up your shoelace. Look, go get up close and let the Glock 20
This Lil Tay J
pop out at your party.
and Polo G. It's Polo G song.
So tuck your chain. I'm a killer, girl, I'm sorry. But I can't change. We ain't aiming
It's
for
keeping
your
it copacetic.
body.
We back again on Friday.
We come from poverty, man, we ain't have a thing. There's a lot of animosity, but they won't say my name. Them killers ride with me, little nigga, don't get banged. Cause they'll do that job for me while
Pop
I
out.
hop on the plane.
I call a bro, he said he ready for the same. What you claim? You a lame, you ain't never put a game. Why I be around some killers that go crazy for the game? If I showed you all my charges, you won't look at me the same.
All right. That's enough of that. What's good, everybody? This is the second week of keeping it copacetic. And this is episode 2. Wonder Woman running for office. I know lately that my titles to my my podcasts have been, a little weird, but I promise they all have a meaning, and we're just gonna go from there. But I'm gonna start off with something that a lot of people didn't really, or really haven't spoken about. The internet dweebs and nerds and comic book people really don't really want to speak on, and it's Endgame. Um, and I don't want to say this, but I'm gonna have to say this because I'm gonna have to be truthfully honest. And Endgame, to me, was not what I expected. Um, it did numbers, it did what it was supposed to do. It got people in the theaters. Um, you know, it it filled the seats. They did a good job. They even shouted out Stan Lee. Stan Lee was in the movie. Um, he's a goat. But my hot take on the Avengers Endgame really is, my beef with it really is just the fact that I feel like as a comic book nerd, as a person who's loved superheroes since he's been 5, 6 years old, I ain't get what I wanted. I ain't get enough. I ain't get enough of the whole Avengers together. I ain't get enough of the whole squad together. Um, Not to say that the movie wasn't a good movie. It was a solid movie. I'll give it a 7.5. Um, Rest in peace to you know who. I don't know who hasn't seen the movie yet, so I'm not gonna spoil anything like that. My beef really is with the movie itself. It's just the fact that there was a lot of fillers, and it seemed more of like, if we can't stop him at his prime, then we'll stop him when he's not that strong. And yeah, even without the stones, he's still the strongest man in the universe. But it still didn't resonate to me that the Avengers beat this guy at his peak. The Avengers didn't stop this man at his peak. Um, and DC would never. Nah, I'm playing. I'm a DC fan, but um, it's just the fact that to me, it was kind of like predicted. Like a lot of people already kind of knew what was going to happen within that, cult, and that, the cult within, comics and stuff like that. They kind of already knew who was about to be wasted. What caught me by surprise really was the Captain America ending to the movie. Uh, it was pretty good. It was really good. I loved it. Captain America is one of my top three heroes. He's I commend Captain America's role through that whole movie. Captain America is not the strongest. He really doesn't have superpowers. He is a superhuman. It wasn't anything natural that he got. He was, you could say, quote unquote, created in a lab. But Captain America's role in that movie was awesome. Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans, they always have had good chemistry, and they will always have good chemistry in movies that they do for Marvel. The Hulk, that was that was cool what they did with the Hulk. Um, Giving him that, and it was just weird in the movie. If you haven't seen the movie yet, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna spoil it. If you haven't seen the movie, it's just weird how Scarlett Johansson and the Hulk don't really like talk about them anymore. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I have missed something. I'm not too sure, but it wasn't what I thought I was gonna get. It wasn't enough action for me. There wasn't enough fighting. It was more of what should have happened in the first movie. And what they did to Thor, it was funny and it was very comedic, but at the same time, it's not really like Thor. Yeah, I understand he's been through a lot. He's lost a lot of people. So I would understand the slacking and him getting a gut and all that fun stuff. But like, it's not what I expected from Thor either. And him meeting with his mom and speaking with his mom again was pretty cool when they go back into the future. Uh, Captain America picking up that hammer, to me, Captain America picking up that hammer meant the world. That was everything, man. That was everything, bro. As a Captain America stan, I was here for that with the hammer and the shield and all that cool stuff that he had going on. It was just dope. Him, Iron Man, walking outside, ready to bump Thanos. Just three of them out there ready to bump Thanos. Like that right there. There should have been more exposure into that fight and more fighting between the three of them. I know Thanos is the strongest man in the universe, so I can't really hold it against him being OP. That's just what it is. But I'm gonna bridge off real quick into DC, because DC would never go back in time and fight someone when they at their weakest. Superman always bumping dudes when they're strongest. Batman, he might not win the first fight, but you ain't beating Batman in a second fight. No one's beating Batman in a second fight. Go look at the stats. I'm not taking Wonder Woman over Black Widow. Only because Black Widow has a little like Batman in her. So I kind of mess with her. But I am taking Batman over Captain America, even if Captain America is top three. Batman's number one to me. I'm taking Superman over Captain Marvel, just because I felt like the person who they gave that role to didn't really embody her like I thought they will, and I thought she was going to be a lot younger looking too, because Captain Marvel actually is very young looking, cool. But real quick, back to Marvel, they gave the guy that Eminem dissed the shield. I don't know how serious I could take that dude. Falcon's really cool, but I just don't know how serious I could take him with that Captain America shield. Is he gonna get the superhuman strength that Captain America did? What's gonna happen within that? And I'm just really waiting on that. But again, back to Marvel, it just depends the direction they go within Phase 4. Are they going to bring the X-Men in finally, or are they not? What are they going to do with that? Is Deadpool going to show up anywhere? It really, to me, it wasn't enough. And maybe I sound a little selfish. Maybe I sound, a little bossy with the directing and stuff like that. But it's just like, I'm a superhero stan. I want to see like the Justice League type thing, like all the Avengers. I mean, there was a lot of people in that movie. There was a lot of superheroes in that movie. There was the Guardians. There was Marvel. There was Captain America. There was Iron Man. There was Spider Man. There was Black Widow already died, but she was in it. Hawkeye was there. It was there were a lot of people. There were a lot of people in that movie. There were a lot of people fighting Ant-Man the Wasp. You name any superhero, they were there. Um, it was cool. It was cool. The ending was cool. The ending scenes were probably my favorite part of the movie. Um, I will tell you this, people, I might get a lot of bad backlash for this, but the way Iron Man died was whack. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, it was whack. Uh, oh my god, I'm gonna get so many people who hate me because of that. But I wanted to see more than a snap. The Hulk snap, I know his body was built for that, gamma rays, etc., etc. So he only, have his, his arms all fucked up. But like Tony Stark, man, this how Tony Stark goes. That's how you get rid of Tony. Um, Again, I hope we still get a little like someone. I saw a tweet. Someone said, "I hope Tony Stark is the new Jarvis," because I would love that for Spider-Man. I would love for Spider-Man to still have that mentor um, as he still evolves as a superhero. Because he is one of the strongest people in the Marvel universe. He's probably top 10, not counting gods and other people. I'm talking about people on planet Earth. So I'll give him that. But again, uh, it wasn't a bad movie to me as a critic and as a stan and as a fan. It just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough, and it just didn't give me what I wanted. I sat there for 3 hours, and the best time of my life during that movie was the last 30 to 40 minutes of that movie. Um, Iron Man dying sucked, but it is what it is, and you kind of just got to keep it moving. I did say in the beginning of the podcast that I wasn't gonna reveal anything, but shit, man, if you haven't watched Endgame yet, then what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing right now? What are you doing right now? Um, what are you doing? Really, you know, go watch that movie. Good movie. Great movie actually. But I will say, Infinity War, like my boy Maurice said, Infinity War left me numb to Endgame. Um, and that's just what it did. It just left me kind of just with not enough. Um, Towards the end, but best 10 years of my life. Iron Man movies were great. Thor movies were amazing, underrated. Thor movies were so underrated. Captain America movies, underrated. Um, you know, uh, it was good, man. It was a good movie. Good, good way to end Phase 3. So we're gonna be moving on to Phase 4, and the one that I mean, if anybody knows more than me, I really like to be enlightened. I want to know what the Dark Avengers are. I really want to know who the Dark Avengers are, because that sounds super lit, and it sounds like, what's that thing, man? Deadshot's the leader. Let me look up Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad. It reminds me of if it's anything like Suicide Squad, I'm here for it. At the end of the day, I know Marvel has a more powerful beings in their universe, but if it's anything like Suicide Squad, I'm here for it. Suicide Squad was a good movie. Again, shout out to the Marvel gang, gang. Marvel's, oh wait, not Marvel gang. They're cool, whatever. But DC gang. DC all the way. Batman, what's good, man. Logo, we out here. Superman, I really don't fuck with Superman, but he's OP. But we're not gonna get into that. But gang. DC universe. Yeah, shout out to the podcast. Listen to me. But gang to the DC universe. We're going to be moving on now from here. Cut. So has anybody been watching the NBA playoffs? That's a question that I know I'm really not going to get an answer to because this is a podcast. But I've been watching the NBA playoffs. It's been good. You know, we have two game sevens coming up on Sunday. We have the Rockets and the Warriors still in it, battling it out. I hope Kevin Durant gets better, man. Low key want the Rockets to win, but we're not really gonna get into that. I just, people don't hate Steph Curry the way they hate LeBron, and it kind of pisses me off, but it is what it is. Um, but I want to shout out Dame, bro. Damian Lillard. He's 9 for 13 from 30 feet away. Um, that is my playoff MVP so far. He has been hooping. Like, honestly, man, LeBron had said something about him 2 years ago about him being a great point guard. And if he's not a top three point guard to you right now, I mean, name me three. Because Kyrie this year did not have the year Dame had. A lot of people did not have the year Dame had this year. Um, I mean, I can go look at the stats for you. I can look them up. But Damian Lillard definitely, to me, is my playoff MVP. Number two, Djokovic. That man, Djokovic, man. Djokovic is nice, man. I haven't seen a big man like that. He reminds me of Divac. Those who follow basketball will know who he is. He was a big man for the Lakers who used to be able to run the floor and pass the ball, and used to handle the ball up court. He wasn't a bad big man, actually a pretty good big man. But yeah, I look at him. Djokovic is just nasty, man. I'm talking. He's big. He could score at all three levels, and at the same time he can pass, and at the same time he's rebounding for you, and that's your center. You have a point center, and that's the best point center. Not necessarily dribbling the ball up the court, but that's one of the best point centers I've seen, and he has a chance to go down as one of the best overseas players to ever live. I love you, Dirk. I love you, Dirk. I ain't trying to come for you, but he does. And honestly, his ceiling's crazy. I mean, I ain't trying to take away from Luka, but Luka got something to prove to me still. I mean, he had a great rookie year. He obviously might be the rookie of the year, snubbing Trey Young, but we're not gonna get into that. But Luka had a good year this year too, but I'm not trying to wait. I'm trying to kind of stay in the playoffs. So yeah, Djokovic definitely is my number two. Number three, James Harden, only because he's been being bullied by Draymond. They've been hurting this man. I'm talking about this man has been doing what he can with what he got, because no one's really talking about CP3's decline um, this year. It isn't something that's bad, but it's not the same CP3. You can tell that he's aging. You can see that he's aging. Uh, and, it is what it is. But he has that youth now. He has Clint Capella. He has Kevin Fareed. He has Austin Rivers. He has Iman Shumpert. He has help now. He has other guards who are almost as big as him who could run with him. I'm not saying CP3 isn't capable of doing that, but, now he has that, talent around him to be able to run that, fast-paced Dan Antonio offense. So I did Antonio offense. So, I commend him for keeping James Harden relevant and keeping him alive and things like that. But yeah, definitely James Harden. Girlfriend just texted me. Shout out to my girlfriend. Oh yeah, real quick before I move out, shout out to TT. Uh, Shout out to TT. Y'all know him as Drip Fendi God. But known that dude since like middle school. That's the boy. He's still rapping. Bless your son, man. Hope you grow strong and healthy. But yeah, I want to see you do good, bro. Keep doing music, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't really listened to your music like that, so send me some tunes, bro, so I can really, listen to it. Maybe even play it in the beginning of my podcast. And shout out to OJD one more time. My boy dropped the album. My boy had a listening party. My boy trying to do numbers. And you know what's crazy? I would tweet at celebrities and rappers and do bars and stuff like that back in my rapping days. But this man really is branching out and trying to have people listen to his music and, kind of getting out his shell. Again, that's my girlfriend, so I apologize. But yeah, trying to get people out his shell, trying to get himself out his shell. So yeah, and shout out JV, man. I didn't shout him out last time. Justin Vega, that's my boy, man. Talented dude, super talented dude. Can't wait till you drop a project. Um, Shout out Molly. I didn't really get to shout him out like that. Molly been rapping for a minute. People, oh, Molly just started rapping. Nah, Molly been rapping for a minute now. Molly's always had great bars. every time I hear Molly on a song, I'm always the thing that always catches me. He never sounds the same on each song. He always has a different, sound to him, and tone and the way he delivers his rap. So shout out to Molly, Perf Gang. My dog doing his thing. Um, within that, but let's get back to the podcast and let's get back to the fact of why I'm calling it Superwoman. I'm calling it Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman running for office. Um, and I was watching something on Netflix, and there's this one lady. Her name is Alexandra. I think you guys might have seen her on, YouTube. I mean, on Twitter, kind of going in, and she is a part of the Congress of New York, District 14. She is 29 years old. October 13th. I think that's a Scorpio. I'm not sure, but ill. I'm just kidding. But she ran for office, and she's been really doing her thing, bro. If you look at it, she was really going against someone who she didn't know if she was gonna win or not. He's been in there for the guy she was against. Let me go ahead and look at it, because I didn't really remember his name. It was something they called him the Queen Machine. Um, that's all I really remember in the Netflix title. But she really just started her stuff from the bottom up, and now she's running. She's in Congress. She's a representative of, again, the 14th congressional district, and that's really the eastern part of the Bronx and a portion of North Central Queens in New York City. She really is doing her stuff. She's Democratic. She's part of the Democratic Party, and I love her, man. She has mad spunk, and if you guys can watch anything on Netflix, I'm gonna get the name right now because I'm not gonna leave you guys hanging. But she's very, 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 very strong-minded person. She persevered through it, and she never gave up. And when she went toe to toe with this man, toe to toe. Like, as a woman in this world, you get strikes. She's not a black woman, but she still is a woman of color, even if it doesn't show. She is Hispanic. Um, you know, uh, she is of Hispanic backgrounds. And her name is Alexandra. I don't know how to say her middle name, her second last name, but it's Ocasio Cortez. Again, really cool. But yeah, she is going to challenge so many lawmakers. She is going to challenge them, and she's going to keep, going in. And I'm here for that. I mean, and if anybody could get my approval as the first, like, female president, it definitely is her. She's been doing her thing. She's only 29 years old. But they're endorsing the idea of her in 2020, being the Democratic possibility, um, and a Democratic candidate. It's a possibility. So yeah, I'm definitely voting for her. I'm rooting for her. She's crazy. She's very well spoken, very smart young lady. And she doesn't like Trump. And I don't have no beef with Trump. I mean, yeah, he is what he is. But I tend not to really look at it. I tend not to see it. Um, I'm not good with ignorance, and I really don't tend to view that side of things when it comes to life. I know I shouldn't ignore the issues, and there is a lot of issues going on, but I just try to keep myself out of that circle, because then politics make me depressed, and people kind of make me depressed talking about politics, and it sucks because there's a very thin line there, and people can't really have that conversation when it comes to talking about certain things, and it becomes more of like a personal thing than let's save the world type thing. And like I said, man, she's awesome, bro. Definitely check her out. Another person that I've really been interested in. He's not really part of any party. I think he's independent. His name is Andrew Yang. His slogan is humanity first. And I've really been intrigued how he's going about things, because he's a businessman, and he brought up a very, very, very important thing. In the next 5 to 6 years, call center jobs, truck driving jobs, all these jobs that, you know, um, a lot of people have, like 60 to, 70% of the human beings on in America, they have jobs as those jobs are going to be all done by AIs. And if you're not familiar with AI, it's an artificial intelligence. You ever call it bang, press number 8 for this, or press number 2 for that. Um, yeah, well, that's what's going to be running us. And there's going to be so many people in debt, and not in debt, but there's going to be so many people out of jobs. And of course, eventually that will cause people to be in debt, of course. But there's going to be so many people without jobs and things. And he has a proposal. He thinks that after the age of 18, that people should get a salary from the government and get paid from the government, especially if everybody's going to be losing major jobs. Because what are people supposed to feed their families with? I have a son myself, and the more I enlighten myself, the more I see what's really out there in the real world. It's a scary place to raise a child in the 21st century. I think we're in the 21st century. Who knows? I always be messing up. But it's a scary thing to raise your child in the 21st century. Um, and he kind of brings it, together when it comes to bringing humans together. He doesn't talk about color. He doesn't talk about race. He doesn't say what should be what. He's all business. And I know we have a man in office who says, I'm here for business, but this man literally is a businessman and a very smart man at that. And yeah, check him out. His name is Andrew Yang. Super smart dude. Really cool. He has been getting momentum lately. I've been seeing him all over Instagram. Finally follow his page. So shout out Yang and the Yang gang. I hope, you do your thing in 2020. And I hope, you keep rising and prevailing through all that. Definitely watch that movie on Netflix. Give me a second because I'm going to go ahead and look it up, that movie. Because I don't want to leave you guys hanging. I really don't. And I also want to thank you guys for being on another episode of Keeping It Copacetic. I'm going to have to cut this short because I got to go. It's past my time. But give me a second. But yeah, man, shout out to all those people I mentioned also. It's awesome. It's my second week. I want to thank everybody for supporting me my first week. I want to thank everybody who showed me love and followed my page. Continues to, endorse me and, have my back because, without that, I wouldn't, keep going where I'm going. So definitely love the supporters. And I'm also running a little thing with advertisement for my for my podcast. I'm doing it on my Instagram page. If you want to shout out to any artwork, to any projects that you have coming out, anything like that, advertisement will be $20 a day. But, it's hard to get cheap advertisements, so I'm offering that on my Keeping It Copacetic page. And the name of the movie that I was talking about, definitely a good watch, is Knock Down the House. And it's not just about herself. It's also about other women running for, senates. I think it's senates and different things within their, their area where they live. Definitely check it out. It's called Knock Down the House. Much love, guys. And I'm going to go ahead and play my song of the week. I really don't have one. But there's this one kid that I've really been looking at a lot. It might sound a little, childish, but he is pretty cool, man. He has a certain vibe to him that I really can fuck with. He kind of brings back that old gangster way, but like in a new school. His name's MLE Chopper. Thank you for listening, bro. You guys have a good week, and thank you for tuning in. My bad for the pause. Thank you guys. Appreciate you guys. Today's Friday. Yeah.
Shit like I'm Dennis. I started this shit, I'm a business. Niggas be hating, trying to blemish my image. Who want the smoke? 2 to 3K with the scope. And still it clip long as a rope. We rock his nose, just like he had him a coat. I knew the boy was a hoe. Pull up with the gang, you know that we buying it. What is your set, nigga? What is you claiming? I am a beast, you cannot time it. Don't point a finger, this shit keep dying. These niggas hate, these niggas plotting. Ooh, we got money, I'm running this water. You say you a killer, little nigga stop it. In the shootout, your gun was dropping. You really a fucker.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good week, man. Love y'all. Much love.